Welcome back, everyone, to the Question Bard. I'm Angela Tano. Those of you who are new, welcome. So today I'm going to be doing a review on Lindsay Puckett's book, The Glass Witch. Before we get into that, however, I would like just to give you a little update on how I'm doing so far with the writing. It is coming along really well. I kind of went through a bit of a really intense scene for the Legacy project. It was very, very emotional, gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching kind of scene. I almost cried. It was very intense. But I got through it for the first draft. Second draft, we'll see where it goes. It's a very pivotal scene. It's what defines the whole story. So, it's very, very important that it has to be written right, it has to be done right, so there's a lot riding on that scene. But I went through the first draft. I think it's okay. Obviously, it'll have to be worked with and tweaked and edited when it goes to second draft and third draft, and the same goes for all the other drafts. Alright. So now that we got that out of the way, we're going to get right into Lindsay Puckett's novel. Some tea first. Okay. So I'm going to talk about Lindsay Puckett's novel, The Glass Witch. If you haven't read it yet, I would definitely recommend reading it. Okay. You can find it on Amazon, your local bookstore, Barnes & Nobles, anywhere. This is her debut novel, and I'm going to critique it. I did read it. I did get to read it for Halloween, though. I really wanted to, but I was caught in the middle of another book. Plus, I was doing stuff that was just very time-consuming and took up way too much time of my life. So I didn't get around to reading it until this early spring. And yes, I just restarted up the whole Questing Bard vlog, so therefore the review is a little late. So if some of you have read it, and I may be saying some certain characters' names wrong or things like that, just bear with me. And I do apologize because it's just been some time, but I do want to review it since I do follow her on my AuthorTube channel thingy. I do follow her, and I would like to represent her, and hopefully one day she can represent me the way I'm representing her. We have to look out for each other, right? We're fellow brethren, sisters, whatever, in our community of authors, right? We have to look out for each other. We have to have each other's backs. That's the game, right? Alright, so let's get into it. First of all, one thing I definitely loved about it is how it started. The setting, we'll talk about the setting. I love the setting. But real quick, one thing that really grabbed me, and this is something I do struggle with, and I know that a lot of agents are looking for, so I can see how they picked it, is the opening. How you start your book is just as important as anything else in your book. Because it's what pulls the reader in. It gets them hooked in and hyped and like, okay, what is this all about? And I know how to do it in terms of like an action scene or something intense, but after that it gets a little tricky for me. And I'm struggling for a good opening scene for Legacy projects. And that's something I'm really struggling with right now and currently. I do want a jaw-dropping scene, but we'll get into that later on another date. But I do love the opening line. This is something I really am taking to heart to do for myself. I'm just going to read the first sentence just so you guys get a real idea of how it starts. I'm not going to give the rest, just the first sentence. The problem with revenge is that good kind costs more than $367. Like, wait, what? I loved it. Because, she's talking about revenge and revenge having a price, and it's like, wait, what? And I loved it. I loved that, like, she said it, and then, like, as you read it, it makes more sense, but it's like, that just gets you right out of that. You're like, okay. And I love that. So that was a really good job, Lindsay. Like, awesome work. Aside from that, I did mention setting. I love autumn. Halloween, I love all the autumn, the Burr holidays. So, Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas, the holidays and New Year's, like the whole Christmas, winter solstice stuff. Love it. Particularly autumn is my favorite season. So I love how this took place in autumn and the Halloween spirit and all these things, which actually funny enough, inspired me to write my own Halloween story. I always wanted to write holiday stories. I always wanted to write at least one cherishable holiday story that, that hopefully can live for the ages. I think that this one is definitely a winner. I could even see this becoming a film or something, or like Nickelodeon film or something. So apart from the setting that I love and the beginning, it's a really fascinating book. The main character is not your traditional thin or kind of what girl. It's Adelaide Good is like, curvy, and that's okay. It's showing you're breaking outside the norms and expectations of what makes a hero and what makes makes you capable of doing things. So I like that she really broke the norm with this. I liked that. I hope I can do something of that too, but I don't want to force it. So I'll see what I can do with that. But I loved it. I loved that she had a round person. I do like the idea of the South Asian influence. I love that she has Fatima, who's her best friend, and she's so quirky in her own unique way. That is a really cool thing. Aside from that, and I loved it because actually my parents are from India, so it really hits here to have someone represented in those regions and areas. So that's really nice. Aside from that, the story is light, is very lighthearted. It's scary, obviously, because of Halloween, but not like scary. It's like kid-friendly, family-friendly scary, which I think if it was made into a film or something, like Nickelodeon did something, I think it would be very enjoyable. I finished this book in 2 days. It's a very fast page-turning kind of book, because I was just so into it, and she got me going through it the whole way. I was like, oh my god, I was enchanted. Any critiques? Anything I would just my personal iffies or nah kind of thing? Not really. I don't have any. Provided it's a little lighthearted, and I think it's geared for definitely that middle grade kind of novel, which is all good. Not my cup of tea, and that's just me being no. But I did love something else, which was really cool. And these are themes and morals that kind of tend to cross the board of genres, of fantasy genres a lot. Other genres are now doing it too, I'm sure. Which is it's more than just a good feel thing, and you're just breaking the norm with having, a South Asian and a curvy girl duo of saving the day, which is cool and amazing. And I like that they added that. It still felt lighthearted, which I think was impressive, but they had a lot of themes and things that are elements that are very deeper, things you would find in Harry Potter or Star Wars or something, which is, I think, very fascinating. I think that's what definitely gave this a little bit more of an edge over other stories in this kind of realm or area of storytelling. The bubbly, lighthearted, magical, whimsical magic. I love whimsical magic. I love it. But I like when it plays a bigger, heavier tone. I love when it incorporates itself into that. This is not like that, but it is still a very good magical story. It's scare factor, again, as I said, not like PG-13. Maybe borderline G to PG-ish, not too heavy. It's very easy, I think. Kids would love it. Yeah. So big thumbs up for this one. Okay. I love the villain as well. I love the villains. I loved the content. I loved it. Do I see it? I think it's great as a standalone story. Would I like to see more? Maybe. We'll see. If there's a story worth telling in Cranberry Hollow, which is the location of the story, which is nice. And that's pretty much what it's going to go into. Okay, so that's that. As for anything else, so next week, I think I want to go into voices, maybe. I'm not sure. So we'll see what will happen then. I was mentioning about my obsession thing, right? That will not happen next week. That might happen the following week. So we'll see. Maybe the following week after next week. Okay. So apart from that, everything's going good. I will definitely give you a look of how my first draft writing is going. It is, as I said, it's behind, but I'm thinking of finding ways to crunching extra time in. Maybe the weekend, maybe some other time. I don't know. I need to add some extra hours in to getting this done because it's like I'm falling a little behind. Okay, that's that for now. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for more future videos like this. And see you all next week. See ya.